floor had gathered in one. Liz suddenly turned to see Charlatan right behind her. She hissed, and the first doubling her. You to be silenced. Charlatan, or should I say evil one? Asked Liz, trying her best to appear calm. You were in the garden. The Maker made it clear to me who you really are, said Liz, feeling emboldened. At the sound of the name, the Maker, the snake shuddered. He was a king cobra. He was massive. He drew closer to Liz, his menacing eyes boring into her now. Don't ever say that name again. I'm the clever one. I'm the one who's going to beat the... Charlatan stopped before he spoke the name. He calmed down before he continued. Liz's chest heaved up and down. Her heart raced. Charlatan was rambling about the chaos that he instigated during the journey of the Ark. He was enjoying this, telling all he did. He was bragging about it. He was full of himself, full of pride. I'm here to finish what I started in the garden. I did nothing more than show what man is made of. Twist the truth just enough to tempt them. You will not die. Eat the fruit. Easy. Just tell them what they want to hear. Then sit back and watch. I have a job to finish, said Charlatan threateningly. Liz felt the evil pouring out of this beast, inching closer to her. The snake moved in, and Liz became immobilized by the fear. He reared back his head and struck. Max was searching for Liz throughout the Ark. Liz's eyes opened, and she looked at Max, who was now leaning over her, his heart breaking. Max, Liz said weakly, you've got to. Her voice trailed off. Liz gathered all the remaining strength she had so she could speak to Max. Now go. He's headed to the humans. No time. Go. Liz said this with a barely audible voice. She was gone. Max laid his head on her small body and wept bitterly. Outside the Ark, the animals had been exiting for hours. The animals were backlogged. The animals just didn't want to leave the area. Max was shaking his head. He had failed. Liz was dead, and it was all his fault. He was overcome with grief, but something made him lift his gaze. Now his mind was writhing in anguish and confusion. But now he knew how deceptive evil really was. It was masked with half-truths and niceties. It was a fraud. It was an imposter. It was charlatan. "This time he won't deceive me. On me life he won't," growled Max to himself as he bolted across the landing area through the many animals. Charlatan hissed as he moved along the ground, angry at the curse. Snakes would have to slither around their bellies for the rest of their existence because of their betrayal of humans. It was not only degrading, but it made him slow. He made his way toward his next victim. The scent of snake grew stronger. Max was closing in. Charlatan lifted his body off the ground, rising up. He arched his back and hissed. Shem, Noah's son, turned around to see the snake ready to strike. Max came running along and jumped on Charlatan, bringing him to the ground with a thud. Charlatan raised himself back up in defiance to Max. He hissed and gave an evil smile. "I'm so pleased to see you." "Save it, ye imposter! I know who ye are. You're not going to hurt anyone else here," growled Max. "Go ahead. Tremble in fear of me. Watch there silently as I come to finish what I want to do. I'm not about to let these 8 humans start this human race all over again. Watch and cower in fear, little dog, as I destroy the seed of the one by killing this son of Adam." Charlatan was foaming at the mouth as he maniacally ranted. Max grabbed him by the tail and tossed him into the air. The snake landed unhurt and turned quickly back to strike Max. Max grabbed its back with its strong jaws, shaking it back and forth. A devastating bite. He wasn't prepared when the snake's head came swinging around, mouth wide open and fangs out. Max felt the agonizing pain and released the snake from his jaws as he fell to the ground. "Ruff, ruff," mumbled Max. Shem watched, trying to communicate. Charlatan had been so busy gloating over the demise of Max that he didn't see the blow coming. Then another. Shem screamed at the snake. "How dare you harm this dog? You're repulsive and wicked. I will crush you for what you've done to my little friend." He hurled the snake into the air off the side of the mountain. "You'll never defeat me! I'll never stop!" The snake's voice trailed off. Shem ran to Max. The little dog lay there, shivering, gasping for breath. Shem picked him up in his arms, held him close to his chest, rocking him back and forth. "Oh, you brave, wonderful creature. You gave your life to save mine." Tears rolled down Shem's face as he realized the sacrifice that had been made for him. There could be no greater love.